Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
Yes, sir. It is Thursday, August 13th, 9 a.m. on this beautiful Thursday morning. How we doing, kiddos? How is everybody doing? Thursday's episodes are no longer live, so we will be live Tuesdays and Fridays. We're going back to our old school. The live 4 days a week is tough for your boy with the schedule, with firing the kid, all this stuff. So Mondays and Thursdays moving forward will be recorded. We'll come out Mondays and Thursdays. And then Tuesdays and Fridays will be live at 11 a.m. So the chat, I love you guys. I will see you guys Tuesday and Friday for answer all your questions, the super chat. And then also, if you want your questions answered and you're not a member, put it in any of the YouTube videos in the comments below. Put fan question, Nick, Chin, see them. I answer them all on Friday. It gets posted Sunday, so we got all our bases covered. We good? It's good to be back. It is good to be back. Your boy's rocking the new Big Brown Fight Club tee. This is available at bigbrownlive.com. We got the coffee mugs on there, new shirts, hats. They got all this stuff on there, so get you some. But this is my absolute favorite. The cut's dope. They're crushing over there. So it's bigbrownlive.com. Get you some. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. You got big UFC 330 week, big main event, co-main event's cool. But before we get into the fighting, kicking this off, kind of a sad note here. I'm part of the Lake Travis Cavaliers family here. Both my kiddos play for Lake Travis. Obviously, Pop Warner win the LTYA Little League. So we practice at Lake Travis. It's a big community here, especially big football sports community here at Lake Travis, Rough Hollow area. And we took a hit. A high school football player, Odin Hensley, went to cardiac arrest on Monday. Went on cardiac arrest Monday, and he had a blood clot go to his heart, I think. So it caused some issues. They tried to resuscitate him for over 20 minutes. The helicopter, Flight for Life, picked him up, took him to the hospital. He was, he was attached to all the machines, stuff like that, on life support. They did do open heart surgery, stuff like that, but I guess it was just too much. And the big man upstairs needed another soldier. So he called up Odin Hensley and thoughts and prayers with his family. And it's just, I can't imagine what they're going through. So his family does have a GoFundMe to support him. We'll put the link in the bio of this episode. I'll send it to you, Chin. But a young man taken too early. It's tragic, and I know the Lake Travis community is hurting right now, and that's a tough one. I can't imagine what those parents are going through, but that's tough. Apparently, all summer he wasn't feeling great. There's some signs and stuff like that. Who knows? Things happen, man. It's heartbreaking. So thoughts and prayers with the Hensley family. And thoughts and prayers, man. So let's get to fighting. UFC 330 is this freaking weekend. You got a lot going on, man. Obviously, the main event is what's going to bring you to this party. The main event is going to bring you to the party. The co-main event, I'm never mad at. Mackenzie Dern, Gillian Robertson. Are those the two best strawweights in the world? Mackenzie Dern, there's argument for that. Obviously, waylays. Who knows what she's doing? Is Gillian Robertson the very best? It's just where the women's division is at right now. It is what it is. When you look at that fight, I know on Monday or on Tuesday Super Chat, a lot of people are like, I'm taking Gillian Robertson, stuff like that. My question for you guys, I'm sure we'll get to it tomorrow in the Super Chat Q&A, but with Gillian Robertson, what does she do better than Mackenzie Dern? Go through it. I'd love to hear it. Jiu-jitsu? No. That's her strongest asset is jiu-jitsu, right? Is she better at jiu-jitsu than Mackenzie Dern? No. So check for Mackenzie Dern there. Wrestling, that's up for debate. Neither of them are great wrestlers, but let's say Robertson might be a little better in wrestling. Cool. You're going to take Mackenzie Dern down and go into her guard? I think Mackenzie Dern would fancy herself pretty good down there. So enjoy that. Enjoy that. Striking. Out of the two, if Mackenzie Dern's fight IQ, if it's getting better each fight, that's probably the biggest knock on her. She makes some bonehead mistakes, doesn't listen to her coaching, makes the fight tougher than it should be. That's just really an experience thing. It could just be, that's that Brazilian blood flowing through her veins. She just wants to scrap like Vanderlei Silva, but she makes the fight way tougher than it should be with her skill set. So athletically, Mackenzie Dern runs circles around her. I just don't see a world where Gillian beats her. I don't. Now, it is, women's fighting, so anything could happen. But they fight 100 times. Mackenzie Dern should win 90 of them. I think she gets it done on Saturday. I'll say via submission, under 3 rounds. How about them apples? How about them apples? And Mackenzie, you can go back to the cartoon. And then Mackenzie Dern also, just nails it with the MMA fan base. At the press conference, do you have that shit I sent to you? At the press conference, they asked her about Ian Garry's comments on how women should run the world. And boy, when you talk about knocking out of the park, she just, here we go. Hit it.
They said that the world would be a better place if women were in charge. I just want to know, being a UFC woman champion, just kind of your opinion and if you agree with them.
That's so hard. I come from like a little bit more traditional,
normal background,
like upbringing. Obviously the women in my family are super strong and independent, and they taught me how to be a strong woman. But I don't know. I like the guy protecting and, leading and doing that stuff. And I like to just relax. And if I need to go to war with him, I will.
Home run.
But, I'm a mommy and stuff like that. So I think it's very good, strong woman. And we don't depend on guys. We can be independent. But I like the man taking the lead.
Crashed it. Oh my God. This strong, powerful, independent woman, one of the baddest women on the planet, has traditional values. Oh my God. Wait. You can be a UFC women's champion, probably the toughest thing to do in female sports, and still be like, but at home, I like traditional values. Oh my God. What a pioneer. Or that's just normal shit, and the world's gone completely ape shit, and Ian Garry's not helping himself with that stuff. I saw that, I'm like, God. Just when you didn't think she could get any more attractive, that happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, cucks out there, hate to tell you, most women feel this way. Hate to tell you. Oh, and she's super strong and independent. You can be super strong and independent and say, yeah, but in my household, I like the man to run shit. Oh my God, this is crazy. It's like we've done this for frickin' ever. This traditional system. Oh my God. Crazy.
Yeah, she was looking good that day too.
Does she ever look bad? It's not like...
especially good, I guess.
Yeah. Take it down a notch.
I'm just saying.
Take it down a notch.
All right.
Put your tongue back in your mouth. Take it down a notch, Doug. Take it down a notch. But outside the main event, co-main event, it's a tough card. It is. I give the UFC kudos when they deserve it, and then when they don't do their job, I kind of light them up. That's just the way it goes. Barboza, what is he, 42? That doesn't make a ton of sense at all. Ribovics, he should get the job done. Joel Alvarez, Chidi, Njokani, not young. Joel should win that one. Charles Johnson fights off the card. Vicente Luque, that's basically a top pick'em fight. I'll side with Vicente Luque, even though he's a little chinny. You got the light heavyweight fight. Neil Magny, that's just insulting. They keep putting him on the early prelims, one of the most successful welterweights of all time. The opening fight's a weird one because Jeremiah Wells, local kid, gonna have some support there. And Orlabai is just a nightmare of a matchup for him. Nightmare. Terrible. I think he has to be the biggest favorite on the card. I mean, nightmare. Absolute nightmare for him. Minus 1,000.
A lot.
Oh, Jeremiah Wells. Oh, you're from Philly? Very cool, man. Very cool. You're going to be the first fight of the night, and it's going to be an awful matchup. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Doesn't make a ton of sense. I don't know what the matchmakers were thinking with that one. Doesn't make a ton of sense for either of the fighters. For either of them, the hometown kid, it's like what? For Orlabai, it's like he's beaten way better guys. This is a step backwards. It just doesn't make a ton of sense. I don't get it. This card was kind of just put together. Besides, they had their main event, and they're like, all right, we'll do the rest. You know, somebody just throw some shit together so we have a full card to fulfill. That's all they're doing. Go back to the card for me, Chid. Yeah, not gonna lie to you guys, this is a tough one. Now, that being said, just because stylistically it's not the best matchups, there's not a lot of huge names on there. There's not a lot of stakes really on this card either. You know, outside the main event, co-main event, they're literally just filling spots. There's not a lot going on in the rankings. There's just not much to it. That being said, I do think you're going to get a lot of finishes. Like, it's still going to be an exciting card. If you like fighting and you're not in the weeds and worried about rankings and this prospect and this guy moving up, it's all good. It's still going to be a great night of fights. Whenever the UFC fan base, including myself, goes, oh, this is some bullshit, it usually ends up being one of the best cards of the year. It's just the way the MMA gods work these days. It's just what they do. Let's get right to it, though. When I say right to it, let me rant for about 20 minutes, and then we'll get right to it. In your main event, Islam Makhachev, Ian Machado Garry. I like to call him just Ian Garry. Oh, God. This one's interesting. I thought one of the biggest advantages Ian Garry would have would be his size. Like, Islam, you know, he's only fought once at welterweight. He fought JDM, you know, not the biggest middleweight. He kind of just, he couldn't finish him. So like, all right, I'm curious how Islam would do with a bigger, true middleweight. And Ian Garry is a bigger, taller guy. You know, he's not the most stacked dude. He doesn't cut that much weight. I think he cuts around 10 pounds, not 15 pounds total. So he's not like the biggest. He's not like an Anthony Rumble Johnson or some bullshit like that. So I thought the height, especially the height, because Ian Machado's listed at 6'3".
Yeah.
But if you look at the face-off, did I send you that, Chin? Here's the thing with this stuff, though. Be careful, because social media, I don't know what kind of shoes Islam has on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure what kind of shoes Islam has on. Is Ian Garry in sandals? So you got to be a little careful. You know, when we look at that, is their first face-off. They're out like outside Philadelphia, somewhere in the city out there. You see that, and you're like, okay. Well, if Ian's 6'3", Islam has to be at least 6'1". Like, there's not a huge difference. Islam's not 6'1". So you got to be a little careful with this stuff. Little careful there. You know what I'm saying? Like, what'd you give him? Inch there? 2 inches, Chin?
1.5 inches.
So you're telling me Islam's, so who, but Islam,
no, 2 inches, 2 inches about, yeah.
Yeah, probably 2 inches, right? Islam ain't 6'1". No.
Yeah. But I mean, he looked so much thicker, you know, like
Islam does?
Yeah. And plus he's only that much of a difference in height. So,
I know.
So he's not.
But again, you got to be careful with this stuff, because notice we're not getting pictures of their shoes. So, and Islam knows they're going to do this face off, and he knows there's going to be a height and weight discrepancy. So I'm sure his team's like, hey, put on those boots that we run the mountains with, you know, like put on those big Timbs. Ooh, can you go?
It can barely see.
They got basic shoes on.
Yeah.
Both of them have basic shoes on.
So
pretty basic, dude. He's definitely not in some big ass Timbs or something.
Yeah, they're both like low tops.
Yeah, pretty
canvas.
comparable shoes.
But look how big Islam looks. Even though he's closest
thick
to us, but he looks so much.
My thing is with Islam too, like, all right, let's say his shoes give him an extra inch. Okay. Ian, his shoes look maybe a little flatter. Okay. Because what is Islam listed on Wikipedia? 5'10",
10, I think. Yeah.
And no world is, I don't think it's a case of Islam growing bigger. I think it's a case of they're bullshitting with Ian Garry, 6'3". I don't know if he's 6'3". And I'm like, oh, damn, now, I thought he had a huge size advantage, reach advantage.
Yeah,
So Wikipedia lists at 5'10". There's no way Ian Machado Gary's 4 inches taller than him in that picture. There's just no way. There's no way. Yeah, I'm listed at 6'3". Either he's 6'3" and Islam's every bit of 6 foot, or someone's bullshitting there. Either way, they're off. They're off, which I'm like, fuck, you don't have a size advantage now? Barely size advantage? I don't like that. That doesn't put any chips in Ian Garry's corner with that. Because he has a 74-inch reach, and what's Islam's? 70? Yeah, and that's supposed to basically be the difference in the height as well.
Difference too. So
yeah, 4 inches. So we'll see when they get out there. We'll see. The other thing, you might have to confirm this, Chin. Ian Garry, I want to say at the press conference, one of the interviews, was shooting himself in the foot. But one of the interviews, he said he doesn't really do training camps. He's always in camp. So how some guys do 8-week camps, 12-week camps. He's like, I train an hour a day, whatever, 6 days a week. I just do my thing. I don't really get into camp like, oh, I don't like that. Now, he is the number one welterweight in the world.
I don't know how exactly they worded it, but it says he does.
Yeah, it's fucking AI. It does no ball. Because he did an interview where he's saying he doesn't really do camps. He just trains every day. He's like, it's my lifestyle. There's no camps. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Because Islam also trains damn near every day, but he does go into camp specific. Yeah, you'd have to find the interview.
Okay.
Because Islam does go into specific camps for his opponent. You know what I'm saying? So he's still training like Ian Garry does, but he will dial it in. And the reason Khabib's camp is so damn good, so good, they rarely ever lose because their game planning is impeccable. Their game planning is the best in all of MMA. They come up with great game plans to dismantle their opponents because they emphasize that. They focus on that. So when I heard that from Ian Garry, I'm like, I don't like that. The picture of them sizing each other up, I don't like that.
2022 interview.
See? He goes, this is ChatGPT. I suspect the clip you're thinking of maybe from a podcast interview where he explains along the lines of women should run the world. I don't do training camps. I'm always in training camp. I train all year round. Right.
So that same interview then, probably somewhere in there.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeesh. I get that. Everyone, for the most part, everyone kind of trains year round. You're never taking like months and months off. I don't know. It's another red flag for me. That being said, remember, I'm the original Ian Garry Glazer. Like I've been on that train for a hot second, man. He's one of my favorite fighters, even though he's not a finisher. He's just so damn good at mixed martial arts. Yeah, there's a couple things that worry me. If you saw the way he kicked off the press conference, you have that, Chin?
Which one?
Ian Garry goes, let's stick to fighting.
Oh, yeah. Let me refresh it.
So Ian Garry sits down. This is the press conference at UFC 330. This is the first time he's talking to the press, and hit it.
Before we start, I just want to make one thing abundantly clear. I've got the biggest fight of my life this weekend. I'm absolutely, completely fucking focused on the fight. So let's stick to the professional stuff. Yeah? Stick to the fighting. Let's talk about the fighting. Let's talk about Islam. Let's talk about the fight. Nothing else.
Brother, buddy, Where was that energy building this fight up? You talked about everything but the fight. You're the one talking about women should run the world. I cried during Disney movies. You know, all this bullshit. You're the one that went outside of the lines, not us. And now it's the week of the fight. You're like, whoa. Let's just talk fighting. Now, when he goes, I don't see anything online. I'm totally disengaged. Really? Your actions would beg the difference. Seems like your wife and your PR team was like, Bubba, before you go up there, make sure you tell them, just stick to fighting. Because if we go outside of fighting, you don't do well. You don't answer the right way. People aren't buying it, buddy. People are not buying it. You can put your kids in as many videos as you want. It's not helping our cause. People are not buying what you're selling, buddy. So if he just took this approach from the very jump, let's just talk, sit down, whatever bullshit podcast that he's doing, sit down, hype up the fight, talk about how great Islam is, but how you're going to dethrone him. That would do so much better than what you're doing. You know? And then now that he shot himself in the foot from a PR standpoint, now he's like, whoa, I don't want to play this game. No. Doesn't work like that. Don't work like that. You're the one that caused this, dude. Now, to be fair to Ian Garry and his family, the stuff, remember all the cuck stuff and him being in the corner and his wife's ex-husband is a nutritionist and there's that whole thing with that. To me, that's too much. He didn't ask for that. People are prodding and prying, and obviously his wife wrote a book on being a wag and all that. I don't get into the weeds in that. That's his personal shit. I don't get into that. But when Ian Garry, the fighter, because he didn't come out and was like, you know, my wife's ex-husband's my nutritionist. He lives with us, blah, 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 cuck behavior, all that bullshit. He didn't bring that to the forefront. That's the internet sleuths going digging deep and coming after Ian Garry because they don't like him. I don't partake in that. But when you do interviews, you start talking about crying in Disney movies and women should run the world and PETA, well, now fair game, Bubba. That's you. You're blasting that out. Now we have the opportunity to comment on it. That's the difference. It's just a PR nightmare, and he's familiar with it now. That being said, you know me, I like chaos, especially Islam's not a very active fighter. I think it would be more entertaining and fun for the division if Ian Garry were to win this fight. I am rooting for Ian Garry. I've come full circle. I'll say I lit him up with all the zesty stuff, and he's still very zesty. I do think he has the skill set to get it done. I just think for the UFC and the better the UFC, it's going to be better having an active champ fighting all contenders, defending 2 to 3 times a year. If Ian Garry's your champ, he's probably defended at least 2, probably 3 times a year. And we're getting action and we're getting flow through that division. When you get guys like Islam, they hold it, and there's this waiting game, and there's all this shit. Even though he's great, and if Islam wins, it's historic, right? He breaks Anderson Silva's streak, which I think he's at 17. So if he gets 18, which is insane. Also, when you look at these guys who have been double champ, when you think about DC, who did he defend the belt against when he won at heavyweight? He was light heavyweight and heavyweight. I know, Jim, you don't have to bring it up. When he defended the belt, it was against short notice Derek Lewis. Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty easy fight. You look at, I'm trying to think who else. Henry Cejudo fought Dominic Cruz. You know, long layoff for Dominic Cruz, injuries, the leg. All right. Dominic Cruz is a legend, but, you know, not a pinnacle version of him. Who else? You look at Amanda Nunes. She fought, it'll come to me. Hold on, Chin. She fought the Australian chick. What's her name? Super pretty.
Tall girl, wide shoulders.
Megan
Anderson.
You know, and was that 145? Megan was great, especially in Invicta. Super talented, crushing it now outside of fighting. But you know, there's not a lot of depth at 145. So when you look at what Islam's doing, breaking Anderson Silva streak record, defending the belt against a prime Ian Garry, like it's way more impressive than what anybody else has done at double champ status. Not even close. What he's attempting to do is much, much more difficult than what anybody else has done. And I like greatness, so that's cool. But I do think it would be very cool for Ian Garry to win, and the fan base would be so upset. A lot of the fan base, I wouldn't be upset. A lot of the fan base would be so upset. You have this PETA loving, women should run the world having, zesty boy as your welterweight champion of the world. And I just think, I think it would force Ian Garry to take a look in the mirror and be like, why am I so hated? What is going on here? And he's just not living his truth. That's what it is. End of the day, if he were to win and his team goes back like, dude, you're a champ, but we're not getting a lot of eyeballs on our shit. And when we do, it's just negative. Like, we're not getting a ton of traction. We don't have a lot of sponsors reaching out. So they're going to have to figure that out. There's not a lot of endorsement deals to be had. 2 years ago, we had more offers. What's going on here? Your interviews, Bubba. Your interviews. You're basically, when it comes to MMA fan base, it's not political. It's just they don't get down with zesty gay shit. Most guys don't. Hate to tell you. Most guys that are into professional sports at the highest level, that like NFL, that like UFC, NASCAR, all these MLB, they're not into the zestiness. It's just not. That's what it is, dude. Your typical blue collar 9-to-5 dude ain't into the zesty shit, bub. So you're not getting those views. You're not getting the support of the fan base. So, and it's his own doing. The UFC didn't push this narrative. Eddie Hearn didn't push this narrative. I don't know who's doing it, if it's his wife or what's going on. But if he were to become champ, he's going to realize that he's really hurt himself in the PR department, and they're going to need to kind of revamp this. I don't know if you need to hire Zuckerberg's PR team. What's going on? I don't know how much that's going to cost. You got to figure something out, because the fan base just isn't fucking with you, and everybody wants to be liked. He can say, I don't hear it. Trust me, I said that for years, right? I get a lot of hate. You see it, you pay attention to it. It sucks. It sucks, dude. No matter how you can pretend to be tough and it doesn't get to me, dude, it sucks. So for Ian Garry, I think he's in for a rude awakening. If he does become champ, he's gonna be like, this is it. Everyone's gonna love me. It's like, no. The hate's gonna heighten, Bubba. Now you're even more famous. The hate heightens. And they have a lot of reasons to hate you. They have a lot of reasons. You're not helping yourself. So his team's going to have to figure that out. Regardless, win or lose, but especially if you become champion, you're going to have to figure out how to capitalize. I think maybe that's where Eddie Hearn can help out, you know? You just got to stop the gay shit. You know, you just got to stop the soft beta. It's just, you're basically, horrible comparison, but you're basically a Yankee, and you keep telling us how good the Boston Red Sox are. You know? You play for the New York Yankees, and they have a rabid fan base, but whenever you do PR, and nobody's even asking them, but whenever you do PR, you're telling us how great the Red Sox are. And then I don't get why Yankee fans don't like me. It's political. No. Know your fan base. Know your demo, dude. What are you doing? You're shooting yourself in the foot. I think, a lot of other people in the space like, Brendan Schaub's going so hard on Ian Garry. I think because I've rode for Ian Garry for how many years, and when I see him just cucking, zesting it up, I'm like, you can do what you want. Fighter's personal life, I really don't give a shit about. I care about the X's and O's at the end of the day, and he's so good at that, so I can still ride with him on some stuff. But I think because I was such a champion for him and such an advocate for him, and then him going down this lane, again, you play for the Yankees, and you keep telling us how good the goddamn Red Sox are, and then you can't figure out why the Yankee fan base hates you. It's so clear on what's going on. It's just like, you have all the skill in the world. You speak the part. You look the part. You have everything on your side, man. And then the one thing you can control, PR, you're just not getting it done. And I think that's why I had such a bad reaction to his interviews. What are you doing, dude? You're just shooting yourself in the foot. Whether I agree with it or not, I think y'all know where I stand on his political or whatever the fuck views he has, these insane beta views. Whether I agree with it or not, I shouldn't even know that stuff about you. But B, it's just not doing you any favors. It's not, man. And you're gonna learn this the very hard way. Because if you win, you think everyone's gonna jump on board, and they're not. And if you lose, it's gonna get louder. And then what do you think happens? The UFC is going to go, God, the fan base really ain't messing with Ian Garry. What do? We start feeding them the worst matchups possible. Then you lose 2 in a row. Now what? Now, the thing that got you the dance, your skill set, is starting to fade away. People are figuring it out. If Islam figures you out and the blueprint gets out on how to beat you, because Schaub really didn't show us that. That fight actually did more benefit towards Ian, where people are like, oh shit, Ian's really good, even though he lost. Oh shit, Ian's better than we thought, right? That was the first time people went, oh shit, this kid oh shit, he could do it. With Schaub, I was like, oh, he is human. So it actually helped Ian Garry out there. So the blueprint didn't get figured out on Ian Garry with Schaub. If Islam exposes something in his game and the rest of the division can go, say less, that's what we do, which that happens, right? So if Islam can expose that and then Ian starts to lose 1, wins 1, loses 2, the UFC's going to go, you're done. Because you're PR and you did it to yourself. That's what bothers me. That's why I think I had such a upsetting reaction to the shit he's doing. I'm like, why? Nobody even asked you. Those dudes, that whatever is the Powerful Mind podcast, no one was like, hey man, do you think women should run the world? That's all you're doing. Hey man, do you cry during every Disney movie? Nobody asked you, dude. And then just it's just one hit after the other. Boom, that comes out. Boom, that comes out. The PETA commercial comes out. You're like, fuck. I try to stick up for him, man, because the dude can fight, but he's making it real tough. Again, the best explanation I can give the casuals out there is think of your favorite Yankee, and every time he does PR, he's telling you how good the Boston Red Sox are. And then his team can't figure out why the Yankee fan base doesn't like that. That's what this is. That's what this is. But again, the dude can fight. I was hoping he would have a bigger size advantage because he's definitely going to have to keep Islam at a distance to win this fight. He needs to get on his bike and keep it at a distance. He has to. If Islam gets inside and he can get him down, he's going to be in a world of trouble. And I think one of the things Ian does have going for him is Islam has said, right? He hears, his team knows. His team's paying attention to what's going on, the chat around the water cooler, where the JDM fight's like, buddy, come on, you got to finish guys. So I think that actually bodes well for Ian Garry, because if Islam comes out aggressive, it's actually going to help Ian Garry. It's actually going to help him. But Ian Garry has got to get Islam on his back foot. He has to get Islam going backwards. Not all the time, for the majority of the rounds. 3 out of 5 rounds, he needs him going backwards. Well, how do you do that? You're going to have to get him to respect you. You're going to have to get him to back up. You're going to have to throw some knees. Now, you might get taken down in the process, but you got to get back up. But if Islam has to be hesitant because you're throwing knees, you're throwing up kicks, and there's a reason why he's a little hesitant, it's only going to pay dividends as this fight goes on. Now, if Islam can go in there and get inside and go unscathed and doesn't have to worry about getting hit with a knee, an elbow, something that makes him hesitate, I think we're going to find out right away. I think it's going to be clear as day, to be honest. I think it's going to be clear as day who's going to win this fight. I don't think this is going to be going into the 4th round and be like, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be very clear. Very, very clear. If Islam can figure out this puzzle of Ian Garry, and if he can get inside, if he can land takedowns early. Like in the first round, If Islam is able to go unscathed and just do what he wants with him and drag him to the mat and control him, and he has control time for whatever is 3 minutes and 45 seconds, Ian Garry's going to get finished under 3. So if that first round, Islam, man, this guy's complicated his movement. He's masking stuff. He's setting up head kicks. He's throwing knees. He's throwing elbows. He's on his bike, but he's kind of lighting Islam up. Oh, shit, we got something here. Because again, on both sides, if Islam can get inside and get to his legs and drag him to the mat very early on, through the course of 25 minutes, through the course of 5 rounds, that does not get better for Ian. That will only get worse and worse until eventually he's finished. Under 3 rounds, I can guarantee you. So very early on, you guys are going to know who's going to win this fight. Ian Garry's not going to knock him out in the first. That's not his thing. He's not a finisher. He's not a guy that carries a lot of power in his hands, and it's just not what he does. He's a technician, and he kind of breaks you down round over round systematically using superior technique. And if he's not able to get that off, if he's not able to get Islam to respect his striking, and Islam just can go forward with no consequences and drags him down to the mat very early on, buddy, that second round, it gets worse. That third round, he's going to get finished. Can almost guarantee you. So it's going to be very evident right away. If Garry wins that first round and can, even if he gets taken down, so it's not about getting taken down. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is let's say Islam shoots for a takedown, but kind of gets, it's tough for him. Eats a knee, but still gets him down. Maybe gets him down, but Ian pops right back up and then fires a shot and then circles to the center octagon, and he's kind of lighting him up a little bit. And then Islam shoots, but has to run to the cage, and he has a tough time taking down. We got a fight on our hands. But if Islam goes in there and right away just completely disregards all the striking, all the setups, gets to his legs pretty easy, drags him down the mat, wrist control, pounds him, controls him, clock runs out, we go in the second round, it's going to be a continuous thing of that until he eventually finds the neck or finds a limb and finishes him under 3. That's how this fight goes. Ian's going to have to eventually earn the respect of Islam in order, it has to slow him down from just shooting and getting to the legs and getting to the wrist and controlling him. If you're an Ian fan, it's okay if he gets taken down. How does he respond to the takedown? Does he get back up? Does he land shots? Does he make Islam pay? Because that's money in the bank, round after round after round. Here's the thing too. Full of zestiness and all that shit aside, I keep telling you guys, Ian can fucking fight, man. Straight up. I'm with you. I don't ride on all his interviews and all the bullshit he's been doing, whatever. End of the day, comes to X's and O's, Ian's one of the very, very best and will be by far Islam's toughest test. By far. Islam knows this. His team knows this. So I think it's a phenomenal matchup. I hear you out there. Oh, this card's bullshit. I hear you. A card is predicated off the main event. If that main event is great, it's a back and forth. You have the best welterweight in the world, the pound for pound number one guy in the world, and it's a freaking great fight, great technical fight, and Ian Garry's doing his thing, winning a few rounds, and I could see Ian win a split decision, to be honest. And then you have a PETA loving, women should run the world champion, and it's going to get weird, and I'm all for it. Meaning, I like chaos, because I think that division is, because then Protez comes up, right? Even though they've already fought, but that last round was weird, right? That last round was weird. You have Michael Morales there. If it's a split decision, they probably run it back, They probably fight 3 times. I like it. It doesn't do much for me as a fan if Islam goes in there, drags him to the mat, controls him first round, second round, drags him to the mat, controls him, third round, drags him to the mat, controls him, eventually finds submission, like, all right, because he's going to do that to Carlos Protez. It'll probably be worse for Michael Morales. There's not a lot of mystery there. You're just going to get more of that You're just going to get more of that, But Ian Garry versus Michael Morales is fun. There's a lot of stuff we can do with him. There's just a lot of stuff we can do with him. And Ian Garry has better takedown defense, better footwork than Carlos Pratas, than Michael Morales. So if he can't get it done, those other boys are cooked. Now, Michael Morales has this crazy knockout power, and that's a different problem for Islam to solve. But once he gets on the mat, things are actually easier. Islam, this is his toughest test. He knows this. So I do think Ian can pull it off in a split decision. He could. But again, you'd have to be crazy to put money on that. You're betting against the pound-for-pound number one guy in the world who comes from a camp that has the best strategic game plans of all time. They don't lose. They don't lose. So it'd be tough to bet against Islam in this fight. But I can definitely see a world where Ian Garry wins split decision. But again, this fight's going to be very, very obvious in the first round. Right away, you're going to know what you're getting. Right away. It's going to be either a very easy night in the office for Islam, or it's going to be the fight of his life and he loses in a split decision. Right away, you guys are going to know. What else you got, Chin?
All right, before current events, can we knock out a quick read?
Oh, let's do it. This episode of the Big Brown Breakdown is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash, some moolah? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself, see if you're eligible to save money. When you bundle your home and auto policies, the process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states. Progressive.
Hello, and welcome to Pluto Phone. If you know the name of the movie you'd like to see, just stream it for free on Pluto TV, where all your blockbuster favorites are landing all summer long. Catch Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy.
Fantastic.
The Matrix Trilogy.
Welcome to the real world.
Mean Girls.
Shut up.
Titanic.
I'm the king of the world.
And so much more. For showtimes, press nothing. They're free 24/7.
That is so fetch.
On Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
Okay, first one is here. Joe Rogan, his take on Islam Makhachev.
And Rogan had Aljo on, right? Mm-hmm. I started to listen to it. I didn't get too far into it just because of life, but let me hear this.
And we'll see what happens. Listen, if Islam may retire.
I can feel him.
He may retire. He's done a lot. He's competed in 2 different weight classes and won world championships in 2 different weight classes. If he beats Ian, if he submits Ian and says, I've had enough, I'm going to do what Khabib did, and I'm going to coach now, I could see that. And then I could see Morales and Pratas for the fucking undisputed title.
Yeah.
And
the only thing with that is, I don't know if you can find it, Chin, but Islam talked about staying and defending his belt. I've been on the same vibe as Rogan too, where I think Islam could retire. I said he has 2 left. I think Michael Morales and Pratas are easier fights for him. So I think to him, he's like, hold up. So I can defend the welterweight belt. What would that be? So he won it. I can do 3 defensive. You know what I'm saying? I can defend the belt 3 more times. Mm-hmm. Like that puts me in another level as these other guys and puts him in the GOAT conversation. Yeah. So Islam Makhachev has confirmed he plans to stay active and defend his belt multiple times, dismissing retirement talk ahead of UFC 330. He wants to keep fighting frequently and pad his legacy. That's what you got to do. Yeah, it's not enough just to, and again, what he's doing is insane. The hardest thing in sports all right, let's back up. The very hardest thing in sports is to obtain a world championship belt. That's the toughest thing to do. The next toughest thing to do is to defend that belt in your current weight class. You're dealing with different styles, matchups in their prime. You're dealing with the top of the top contenders. He did that at 55. Now to go to 70, to go up a weight class, and to get the belt, that's tough. To defend that belt is exceptionally tougher. So that's what Islam's doing. If Islam were to do that, if Islam sticks around, he beats Michael Morales. He beats Pratas. He beats the other up-and-comers. Buddy, not now I can entertain the talk of GOAT. Now I can do that. If he sticks around and defends that belt 4 times, which has never been done, to go to lightweight defending, he keeps his win streak. Let's say he puts it, let's see, this would be 18. So say he puts it at 22 in a row, buddy. Now we got a conversation. Yeah.
I guess so. I mean,
but now here's the thing: to defend Rogan, I thought the same thing too going into this fight until I heard Islam say that. I go, oh, that makes sense. And you look at potential matchups, like, oh, that makes sense. This GOAT talk, it puts him in a different stratosphere than these other guys that are considered, on Mount Rushmore. This would put him in a completely different category. I think if he were to defend the belt, and let's say he wins 3 to 4 more, so that would be 18. There'll be 22 fights in a row win streak, and he defended the belt like that. That would do it. That would do it. But we would never even be considering talking about Islam retiring if his mentor Khabib didn't retire early. So what is he, 30-0? So the only reason we're alluding to this is because his mentor retired early and got out. So we assume he's putting that same pressure on Khabib, but he's not Khabib. He's not. And I hate to tell you guys, he's better than Khabib.
So Dana White posted something about...
Dana White posted this, and this is why I want to bring this up. So go back. So Dana posted this. I think Dana posted this because he can... Again, Dana pays attention to all this shit. Dana can feel the backlash he's getting for this weak UFC 330 card. He doesn't care, right? Because he's so goddamn rich. But it irks at him. So then he was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and post the fucking upcoming lineups that I got for y'all lately. So Dana put some fun shit coming up. And I was like, oh, sick. There must be some big fight announcements. And this motherfucker tried sneaking in slap fight. How are you going to post all this shit and then sneak in slap fight? Like, we're excited for slap fight. Now, to be fair to him, Hernandez, Robocop's fun. Nurmagomedov, Song Yadong's fun. Hooker Parnas is very fun. Rodriguez Silva, Noche is very fun. Garcia Ben, all right, we're cooking with Zuffa. Van Pantoja 2, that fight's fucking awesome. The co-main event on that's fucking awesome. And then, but I'm going down, I'm like, keep going. Wolverine versus Green? The fuck? What is that? Oh, it's slap fight. Y'all tried sneaking slap fight in. No, it's not. No, you're not. That ain't happening. That dude tried sneaking in slap fight with all these legendary fights coming up. To be fair to him, too, and that's only through September. Like, they are, listen, I'm with you guys. This card's pretty weak except for the main event, co-main event. But because that main event's so good, I don't have too much complaints. I would like to see some other guys on there. Brady, Joe Pyfer. I'm with you. That bothers me. To be fair to Dana, though, through that September, it's pretty cooking. Hernandez Rodriguez fun. Nurmagomedov Song's fun. Hooker Parnas is very fun. That Noche's car's popping. Garcia Ben for Zuffa Boxing's pretty lit. Slap fight I won't commentate on. Van Pantoja 2, take my money, and that co-main event's lit. And that's only through September 19th. Pretty lit, dude, to be fair. But how dare you sneak in slap fight? How dare you? No, you're not. I saw that right away. No, you're not.
Yeah, I don't know how much you want to cover the Patchy Mix thing. We kind of talked about it during the live chat. But yeah, so 0-4 streak ever since...
Yeah, it's tough to watch. I don't wish for anybody's downfall. This just adds even more fuel to the fire. I'm telling you guys, all these other analysts can tell you how good these other leagues are, and they can compete in the UFC. This is another example of no, you're not. It's just not the same, guys.
After leaving Bellator,
it's just not and the people are like, well, he's out of his prime. Okay. But he's terrible? He had a horrible UFC career. And he's missing weight. I just feel bad for him.
Something's going on.
If you remember him on the countdown with wifey,
Tatiana
Suarez, before his first UFC fight, he was like, these guys just aren't on my level.
Yeah.
I don't see how they're going to beat me. He's like, oh, okay. Because you're not fighting real dogs night after night.
No. And your thoughts on this? I know this happens all the time with Nate Diaz, but your thoughts? So this is him tweeting out, "Pull the F up, Jake Paul."
Pull the fuck up, Jake Paul, says Nate. All right. Listen, get your bags, boys. You know, I hope that fight comes to fruition just so they can get their bags. I would be more on board if it's MMA, you know? But look at the comments. God, of course he wants to fight a super wash Nate Diaz. God, why you only go to dudes on their way out? Nate's calling him out, dude. Nate's the one asking for this fight because they'll make money. They'll make money. Now, boxing, I don't want to see either of them fucking ever box again.
No.
I don't really want to see Nate in a competitive MMA anymore because I care about his health and longevity. But I want him to make bank, and I want him to fight Jake Paul in MMA. I'm down for that. Take my money. I'll watch that. That's intriguing. That's in Jake Paul's first MMA fight against a legend in Nate Diaz. Okay, I'll watch that. So this one's a little different than the usual bullshit that they run. I'll watch that.
I guess that'll close off all the combat, and then we're good to go after that. This one I thought was just funny. Conor McGregor says he's back to drinking again because the recent news is that Brad Pitt, you know, he was sober for like 7-something years, but then started coming back to drinking because he's at a point now where he can handle it and he knows how to do it correctly.
Brad used to be bad, I heard.
Yeah, he had to go to rehab and everything. And I think I forgot, was it Ryan Reynolds? Someone famous like helped.
The difference is Brad didn't have a life of combat sports getting hit in the head. Mm-hmm. So with fighters, like the reason why I don't drink or do Adderall and stuff like that, I can't go to happy hour and then the next day be cool. I have to be all in or all out. There's no middle ground for most people like me. For most professional fighters, most people wired like we are, there's a reason why you get addicted to fighting. There's a reason why you get addicted to working out. There's a reason why you get addicted to football, whatever it is, whatever your avenue is. That same mentality, that addictive mentality goes into alcohol, drugs, and other shit, other dark shit. So when I hear this from Conor, I'm like, that ain't good. That's not good. That's not good at all. Also, this isn't going to help the rehab. That's the worst thing you can do. Alcohol's not going to make your knee better. Hold on. You're talking about coming back? You're talking about coming back and fighting at the highest level in professional sports and mixed martial arts? And you think adding drinking to the resume is going to help? Adding drinking to the mix is going to help your cause? On top of probably dealing with depression from the loss, depression from the letdown, you think adding alcohol is going to help you get back on track? So I saw that one. Oh, he's cooked. That ain't good.
Yeah, I don't know how much of it's kind of him playing around too, but I do believe he's drinking. I just do believe he is drinking.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. That's nothing to be celebrated. But also, you know, he owns Forged Stout, so maybe he's doing it to bump sales with that too. Who knows the play on that? But if you start drinking, that doesn't mean you stop doing all drugs too.
Oh God.
Yeah, it just opens the gateway to the crazy.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff on Ian Garry, so let's just play this one here.
But again, and usually, you know, I don't pile on fighters, especially when they're personal life. Ian Garry's the one that's gone out and done this PR move. So I go, all right, fair game, I'm in.
Yeah, and then people are just giving their takes on it. So here we go.
Let me see.
Look at his wife and know that that's the person I need to listen to. Like, if the world was run by women, we'd all live in a better world. Like, it would all be simpler and easier. That's
So
the fact
cringy.
of the matter. Whether you want to agree with it or not, or you think whatever it is, if women ruled the world and we just listen to them and let them take over.
Okay, all right. Well, I gotta talk to the wife. We want to do a mighty journey out there.
Talk to wife. You have to tell her, but not us.
Should look at his wife. And
Yeah,
know that.
Islam, though. You talk to your wife. What are you talking about? It's fine to Dagestan. Talk to your wife. What the fuck you talking about?
Yeah, so him and Makhachev and Mighty Mouse were talking.
Polar opposites. Yeah, he was on Mighty Mouse. He's like, yeah, come to Dagestan, film, whatever. He's like, yeah, I got to talk to my wife. And he can see Islam's like, Wait, what?
I thought you could
It's
tell
like
her,
he's-
but you don't have to talk
It's
to
like
her.
you start speaking Chinese. Like, wait, what are you saying? What the hell are you talking about?
Well, let's do. So this is okay. This is what kind of bums me out. Ian's kid, his son, is like seems to be this real big Makhachev fan, right? Even as a little baby. So when he'll see him in different places, this is one of the things when he sees him on a poster and how he reacted.
Cute kid.
So he's so excited to see Islam Makhachev, even though his dad's right there.
Yeah, can
in
you
the
please say
poster.
dad in Ian Makhachev or in Islam Makhachev? It's Ian. You mean dad?
And this one's the toughest one for me to watch. So this is them at the stare downs. Hold on.
Oh, you want to say he's going? Ian. We will see him tomorrow. It's okay. Later on, tomorrow, do you want to shake his hand and say hello?
Next time. Oh, baby, next time. Oh. I'm sorry, he was rushed. He didn't mean that. He was rushed.
No, he's very busy, okay? When you're the champion, you have a lot of media, okay? You've seen how much stuff Daddy does? He does the same as me. So he comes, he does his work, and then he's leaving, okay? Give me a cuddle, okay?
Nah.
I promise you, I will get you to say hello to him during the week, okay? And I'm sure he will say yes, okay? Does that make sense? Love you. Okay? They left very quick.
I'll tell you right now, though, with my kid, like, hey, let me talk to you real quick. Look, so you know Daddy's fighting that guy, right? So you got to calm the fuck down. Hey, buddy, come here. Yeah. So that guy, right? He's stopping your dad from achieving all his dreams, and you keep glazing the guy, and I got to go in there fighting him. Also, you like your toys, right? You like toys, right, buddy? Yeah, I like toys. Very cool. So if that guy who you keep glazing beats your dad up, you're not getting as many toys. It's going to change our entire family's life. So y'all need to jump off his dick for me, okay, son? Can you do that, buddy? Could you not do it in front of cameras? Because you seem to be rooting for him over your fucking dad. That's what I see here, pal. Can you clean it up for daddy? Can you do that? Can you not rock his merch while I have to fight him the next fucking day? Can you not do that? You know? Can you not do that?
He's a little kid, man.
I get it, man.
Oh, God. I honestly, the way Ian handles that, I have so much respect for handling it that way. Like, instead of being like, no, screw that guy, whatever. He's like,
Yeah,
don't worry, son.
yeah, you can tell he looks like he's a good dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kiss him and shit. Yeah, I know. It gives you a soft spot for Ian.
This one, I thought totally that Ian was saying that he's making all this stuff up, but it's something else. I'll just play it for you. When it comes to all the stuff that goes on online.
I believe there's another fighter on the UFC roster.
What's the question he's asking?
On the UFC roster, where the conversation around him is less about fighting. And I Google your name, Ian, and the fight is not what comes up. Like,
whose fault is that?
How do you feel about that?
I think it's going to change around my persona.
I could,
It's
Ian.
all fake. It's all fake. It's all on social media, and it's all fake. Any bit of hate that you speak about, it's not reality. When I walk down the road in Philadelphia, in Dublin, Ireland, in Brazil, in England, anywhere I go, I'm met with nothing but joy and love. People,
Yeah, people love them.
I've never had anyone come up in the street and say anything negative to me.
Yeah.
So it's all fake. It's all false. It's all a pantomime. And it's all on a world that isn't real. Social media isn't real. The real world is this moment here. It's this moment where I'm sat with my team, my family, preparing for the biggest fight of my life. And all of us are laughing and excited. There is no negativity in my camp.
I don't.
Yeah, again, my only thing to that, he's right. There's the real world, and I can attest to it myself. I've never had a hater talk shit. I've never had a bad interaction in real life. Never in my entire life, 43 years on this planet, I have never had a bad interaction in person, ever. It's only online. I get what he's saying there. I can relate to that. But when he says, when Brett Okamoto says, man, I Googled your name, the only thing that pops up is, all this gossip, not your fight. And he goes, yeah, I can't do anything about it. No, Bubba. Here's my thing. I'm with you as far as social media goes. I agree. You're beloved. You're one of the greatest fighters on the planet. I like Ian Garry. Don't get it twisted. I've been glazing him for years. He's so talented. He can definitely win this fight. That being said, the narrative that's going on coming into Saturday's world title fight and the talk of not you beating Islam, the talk of women should run the world and PETA, that's all on you, Bubba. You brought this upon yourself. Now, you win on Saturday. Maybe it helps the narrative. Maybe that goes away a little bit, but you got to take some accountability. Your team really has to take some accountability. How you don't have anybody around you go, but what we're doing, we should kind of go a different direction. And I get it. And Ian should know this by now. A lot of it is for views, right? A lot of it, especially, I'm in the content business, especially when it comes to mixed martial arts. So in this UFC Real Housewives that we live in, you're the topic of the town because you gave us that fire. You fueled that fire, Bubba. And because it's a slow week, we're coming off Conor, we're coming off White House, there hasn't been a lot going on. And then your world title fight comes up and you're doing interviews and you're talking this nonsense. So that became the narrative, Bubba. And that's on you. That part's on you. And it's also chalk it up to the game because it was slow fight week, right? Slow build up, not a lot going on. And then you have this guy fighting for a world championship. You're talking the crazy shit. Again, you're a Yankee, and every interview, you're telling us how good the Boston Red Sox are, then you can't figure out why online hates you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you want to do one more? It's all stuff about Ian, but you want to move on past that? Or not?
I haven't. People have been telling me to watch this. I saved it for this. I have no idea what this is.
Sean
it says Sean watches Ian Garry cringe. Sean watches Ian Garry cringe for the first time.
Was run by women.
Okay, wait, what?
We'd all live in a better world. Like it would all be.
What did you say? I wouldn't let my wife run the world. Would I run the world? Absolutely. I'd fucking cry. Like, look at me. Does this look like someone who should run the world? Bad vagina? No. Simple. Jokes. I'm kidding. Kind of. I think you should have a wiener to run the world.
I'm 28 years of age. I still remember the wooden spoon being smacked across my hands. I remember turning to my dad and going, it doesn't hurt anymore.
What a savage. What a psycho. Doesn't hurt anymore? Get the fuck out of here. Wooden, paddle to the hands, fighting for the UFC title. I get to the correlation. I too. Well, no, I didn't. Trying to act tough. I did go to timeout once. Shout out me.
In good fuck is waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning in Europe, or the rest of the world for that matter, to watch Aljamain Sterling and Sean O'Malley.
This just got personal. The fuck did you just say?
Doors open, Kamzat and his missus. I'd love to have him fight.
Hamzat has a missus?
My missus like that, looking at me like her eyes popped out of her fucking skull. And she's like, do it. Like, have a fight with him.
His wife wanted him to fight Hamza in an elevator. I mean, that's fucking kind of, I don't really know. Women should rule the world.
My wife just looks at me and goes, you're a pussy. The future is powered by plants.
That kind of sways my thought process on how this fight plays out.
Like if the world was run by women,
that's pretty much
it. Yeah, Sugar should be protected at all costs. He's so funny. Yeah. It's so fucking funny. God, when they put that clip together of Ian, it's just like, ugh. It's
but
tough, man.
It's all his doing, though. So
yeah, that's my thing. It's like, it's not like, these cringy fucking videos you see on YouTube, like the downfall of Ian Machado Garry, and this fake narrative, right? I deal with it. Sugar deals with it. Everyone deals with it. Andrew Schaub, everyone, Rogan, everyone who's in the spotlight deals with all that bullshit. This is straight up Ian Garry giving these people this shit. And then be like, I don't get it, man. You're like, all right.
Yeah. Okay. So as we know, Bobby Green or King Green was in a boxing match or boxing sparring match with that guy Bang. So another boxer, apparently Bobby went to this guy's gym to box him, to spar him. And this is the difference between this guy and the other guy.
So hold on, pause it for a second. So I haven't seen this, but I assume from looking at the comments. Mm-hmm. So I told y'all, and we were talking about this on Fire and Kid, remember he went and sparred that other guy, and I was like, it really shouldn't go that way. And Brian's like, no, it should. Bobby's bigger. I'm like, no. Listen, in my heyday, I went against like, I think he was 130 something pound world champion, and it was a nightmare. I mean, I could not fucking touch the guy. I saw him do it to multiple big name UFC guys, and he's this big, just piecing us the fuck up. Was never gonna knock us out, but I'm talking beat the fuck out of everyone, round after round. So when I saw Bobby go that pro, I'm like, that shouldn't go like that. And now he goes with this other pro.
Yeah, the other guy was 18-1. This guy's 33-1.
Yeah.
Here we go.
The biggest difference too is like the defense. Like these boxers are gonna find your like you can't have your hands down, chin high. Like a real boxer is gonna expose the shit out of that because all they deal with is upper body. You're just gonna get exposed. It's just a different thing.
So that was pretty much he did.
And I know it gets views and we talk about it, but I hope Bobby doesn't keep doing this.
No, Bobby even said, he goes, that guy pieced me. He's like, this guy's a real boxer.
You don't want to keep doing that. I get the views and maybe you make some money off it, but you can't keep going around getting punched in the head.
No, hopefully not. But this is also him after the boxing match doing grappling. And of course, Bobby just gets him like super
that's how this goes. You're talking about two different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
As easy as that boxer beat Bobby up in grappling, it's gonna be polar opposite.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I mean, overall, at the end of the day, when it comes to everything combined, the MMA guy usually is gonna win.
Correct. In a real fight, you're not gonna sit there and.
I just want to run the basics. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't never been in a fight.
No, I've been in a fight, but we never.
So get the fuck out of here. Can he go in the ring right now and get the squirming like a fish and figure this out right now? It's gonna take me about 60 seconds to figure it out.
All right, let's do it. You want to do it right now? Yeah. All right, let's do it. Fuck it.
Oh shit! Let's go!
And that's more of like a real street fight, you know?
But it was like, there's nothing.
Yeah, that's how it goes. But that's how. This just you're talking about apples and oranges.
So he gives him his back. Bobby gave him his back, and then automatically to a leg lock.
Yeah. But again, and it's not as clear for some people. Like he was doing that to him in boxing. Mm-hmm. You know, like that pro boxer's making it easy on him, like lighting him up. It's just two different worlds.
Yeah, but it's good to see an actual boxer. Like this was completely different from what we saw with.
That's how it should look.
Yeah,
every time.
We kind of just glanced over this before too, but so RAF Sarukian versus Dylan Dennis.
Again, these would be funner. I mean, it's RAF, so it's wrestling only. But if there was submission allowed, then you have my attention. Like this is, Armin's going to destroy him.
If it was submission, how much? Who would you give? That sounds like a crazy question, but who would you give an advantage to? Because since Sarukian is like killing it right now, Dylan Dennis is a submission guy.
If it was straight submission grappling, I'd probably sway a little more Dylan's way.
That's pretty wild. Yeah.
You know, if you throw in some guillotine shit like that. But in straight wrestling, Armin's gonna dismantle.
Oh yeah, I don't see him winning this at all.
Yeah, it's weird.
This was kind of wild too. Peyton Talbot versus Davison Figueiredo. UFC 332 in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, UFC's with Peyton Talbot. It's like shit or get off the pot. You know, they're bringing him up fast. Talented dude. He looked great in his last fight. Great.
Do you want to talk about this stuff? I wasn't sure, but so Chael Sonnen bringing up, or someone commented about you doing the hair thing. We talked about it on Firing the Kid a while ago.
No, we did. Did we talk about Firing the Kid?
When you first came out with it, we were like discussing it.
So this hater, Hippo Juice, so I'm sure he's crushing it. But I knew Brendan Schaub has hit rough times. Really? But I did not expect on the box of a hair dye bad. But I did not expect on the box of hair dye bad. This is not AI. And then Chael goes, wait, help me understand. We are teasing him for getting a modeling job with a national brand. I mean, yeah, F him for being handsome. I don't get it. Yeah, there's a lot more things that hate on me. Again, that's just not like a hair brand. That Rewind, the people behind it, like that's like $1 billion business. And it's like it's Travis Kelce, it's DJ Khaled. Like I have no business being there with them. I'm so grateful I'm on that box. That buddy, that if your favorite UFC world champion would love this deal, bigger than most deals that any of your favorite fighters have. That's mailbox money. I don't have to get punched in the face. I don't have to do promo for it. They're in, I think, 65,000 stores worldwide. I get a percentage of every box. And people aren't buying it because, look, I look terrible there. People aren't buying it because my ugly mug's on there. I own the dark brown hair dye. So anyone, it's the most popular color. So anybody that wants dark brown hair dye, and Rewind's massive, I get a percentage of that. Like there's a ton of stuff to make fun of me about. God, that ain't it.
Nice.
If anything, that'd be the exact opposite of hit rough times. No, that's the biggest deal I've ever done when I was fighting, when I was in Showtime, the pinnacle micro. That's not, this isn't even remotely up for debate. Like that's big boy deal. And I negotiated a big boy deal. That's stupid mailbox money, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a million things. Fell off, foreign kids not doing well, views aren't, cool, make fun of me for that. That deal, no. Your favorite's fighter wishes they had that deal. I have no business getting that deal. I'm nowhere near in that stratosphere as those other guys. But for whatever reason, they fucks with your boy, and I'll take it. But yeah, there's a ton of stuff to clown me for. God, that's a terrible take. Hippo Juice.
What?
That's his name, Hippo Juice. The guy that made the comment. Yeah, that's a terrible take. Shout out to Chael, though. Chael's a real one.
Yeah, he's dope. Make that money. Oh, so this is a look at Islam Makhachev's.
Dude, does anybody else look at Islam Makhachev's house? And I'm like, God, what a life, dude. There's part of me that would love to. Look at this. It's so dope. This is in Dagestan, I assume. I've never been there. My God, it looks nice. Are we in Game of Thrones?
Ответку, да? Понял, что...
Does no one fall off the side of the cliff there?
That's what I was looking at right now.
Right? There's like no gates. There has to be kids. It looks so cold.
It looks like poor and rich at the same time, though, right?
No, it's not poor and rich. To me, it looks like a simple, great life.
Да, на улице Макхачева продаются участки. Не знаю почему. Связь, не знаю, будет.
Does he have a snowball in his hand?
Смотри, уже предъявляют недовольные
Can't
жители.
tell.
They're complaining about the Wi-Fi, I think.
Почему связи нет?
They're asking why there's no Wi-Fi.
Все, да? Сегодня мы...
Fortunately, I can't fast forward, but
Oh, you don't
It
need
looks
to.
pretty nice.
I love this.
Уже будет улица получше, чуть благоустроена.
So that's his full-time crib? Like, that's where he lives?
I've seen his farm. So
Look at this, dude. And there's the farm like
Also,
below. That looks so awesome to me. Like, he's crushing it.
So he basically owns his own little village then.
And then look at the kids. Imagine growing up and you have the pound for pound best fighter in the world just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
He's up the street. Think how close of a tight knit community that is. I saw that. I've never been more jealous of a UFC champion in my life. I saw. I'm like, God, that must be dope. The community, the love, the support. I'm sure they have big fucking cookouts and shit. You know how dope that is, dude. There's no kids on iPads. There's no crime. There's no weird political agendas. There's no pedophile. There's none of that shit. There's nothing there, dude. What a cool way to grow up. I don't know the school system and shit there, but I'm in wrestling. Check. Yeah, we got wrestling. I bet the Summers there. Can you imagine Summers?
Summers
In Makhachev's hometown? Take my money, dude. Never been more jealous of a professional athlete in my life till I saw that. Now, the snow I can't deal with. The snow, I just can't. That's not for me. I grew up in the snow. That life's not for me. But spring, summer, fall, dude, I'm there, Makhachev. Sign me up, Bubba. I just don't want to be carrying rocks and shit up hills and stuff, all that. But the rest of it, I bet the food's lit. There's love. That place looks so cool to me.
I think especially for what, like you're saying, for kids. You know how many adventures you can have as a kid around this area.
Yeah, dude. Just don't fall off the side of the mountain.
Yeah, but then they learn, I'm sure, at a very young age.
Feels very Games of Thrones, you know? They're complaining about the Wi-Fi and shit.
I mean, kids these days. Well,
Is that it,
that's
brother?
pretty much it, unless we missed anything. I think we had everything.
Did I hit them all? We did it, kids. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, do everything. If you're digging the shirt, we have a bunch of stuff on there. It's bigbrownlive.com. The coffee mugs, the hats, these shirts that I'm wearing. And we also, so if you like the more fitted, like polyblend type, we have that. We have these kind of street boxy cuts, which is what I rock. Red, white, they got it all. Bigbrownlive.com for that. I will be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time. We can get that next week, Chin.
Okay.
Chin's about to bring up the Bellamere stuff. I knew Dana White was pretty influential on her career, so it's a fun one. We'll get into that next week because she fights next week. But yeah, I'll be back at 11 a.m. Central for the Super Chat. Fire away. If you want your questions answered and you're not part of the Super Chat, join, become the Big Brown Breakdown Club. But if not, I do answer questions. Just submit them in this most recent video, tomorrow's video. But fan questions, fire away. I will answer all of them on Friday. Damn near every single one. That's what I do. But come join us. 11 a.m. Central Time tomorrow, live right here, same channel. Everything's the same. I'll fire away. I'm missing the group chat, the Super Chat. So I miss you guys today, but I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm Big Brown, man. I'm out.
When you're in a bind, you will find, and you'll fight hard to be broken down. And you can't fall asleep, 'cause he'll go balls deep on a card coming Saturday night. It's Big Brown, Big Brown, Big Brown Breakdown coming to your town. He's big and he's brown, the Big Brown Break.
Some of that was good.
Down.
Brendan Big Brown.
Yeah.